Hey guys, how are you doing? Today is December 1st, right? The last month of 2023, right? Another Friday. So today we will talk about Salesforce, right? Salesforce is a company that providing analysis of how the customer react to your sales campaign. What they will analyze on the customers, then how they react to your sales campaign, and then they give you the analysis, the data, then which part is strong, which part is weak, then how you can improve on your sales, something like that, right? So it's a kind of company that will not involve a lot of equipment, right? Just I think that maybe later on then a lot of analysis can be done by the AI, right? So she can further reduce a lot of people. Then this is what I think, right? And also Bill Gates said like that, right? In the coming 5 years, a lot of analytical work can be done by AI, right? A lot of analytical work, and they will do it very quickly. So in the headlines, then you will see that significant portion of the income of NVIDIA this year is contributed by Singapore, right? I think there is China in behind for some of the purchase, right? But the trend is that a lot of countries, then if they need to be advanced, they have to upgrade their data center. Then the upgrade means faster, can handle more inquiry, data, sorting, right? A lot of things, right? So Salesforce just jumped yesterday on the share price, then because of the profit jumps, right? We'll take a look on that. Actually, yesterday the Dow Jones rose at more than 500 points, but the mysterious point is I cannot find which stock rised it. I just can find the rising is quite evenly distributed, right? Like McDonald's rise at 1%, and then that rise at 1%, like this. A lot of the stock rise a little bit, so make up to 500 points. Then this is all I get, right? And our Falcon portfolio been raised to actually it's been decreased from 86% to 64%. Why? It's because then the technology stock been, I cannot say drop because just 40 points, then maybe not rising sharply as before, right? So if any of you have want me to analyze on any stock, then you can leave your message under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by Usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. This is our cover, right? Salesforce profit jumps a lot, right? So we will take a look on that. Dow Jones yesterday rise at 520 points, right? It just 50 points to 36,000, right? It's been a new high then, right? Just in a few weeks. But for Nasdaq, I'm sorry, dropped at 32 points, right? But still at 1,400 something level. So this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio, right? You can see that is we dropped the 2 points, right, to 84, and then our portfolio been increased at 38% this year. So this is the headlines, right? You can see that in October, that means about 1 month before. I don't want CNBC to use the word tiny, right? Singapore people will not like this word, right? Tiny country. That means smaller than the small. That means tiny, very small. This tiny country drove 15% of NVIDIA's revenue on October. Then how much is that? It's $2.7 billion US dollar, right? 15%, right? Why? Because they need the GPU, they need for the data center. And then I will think that behind that maybe a portion is from China. They just use the name, right, of some company in Singapore to buy the chips, or to buy the GPU, or to buy the whole data center. I don't know, right? But that may continue for a while, maybe 1 year or something like that. And unfortunately for China, then there is no V-shaped recovery, right? Then should be no, because it's end of 2023, right? If 2023 do not have, then there will not be in 2024 as well, right? Then something like that, right? A lot of people that they are expecting China will have no matter what. You look at the reporting, then they use the word consumption, right? Consumption means all over, right? Within China, spending, or for the global, and then there is no. I think that there's no strong V-shaped rebound. There's no rebound, right, in China. So we will see the news afterwards. Then in next few screen. And do you know what Charlie mean? That is not a weird story. That is told by Munger before he passed away. And Munger said that Berkshire would worth more than double if he, that means Munger, and Buffett use this common practice is the lever. Yes. If they use the lever, then sure they can use a lot of borrowing from nothing. Just use the name or use the shares, then get more money in, then they can buy a lot of company in between. But when there is a hard time like the Lehman Brothers, or like just within this period, right, in a high interest rate, then they may collapse if they use too much, right? So what is the optimum level then they use for the leverage? I don't know. I don't think that Munger will know or Warren Buffett will know. So the best way is not to use that, right? The best way is not to use that. Maybe they use, but the portion is very slow. It's very small. Then maybe just few billion US dollars, something like that, right? Because they have more than, now even they don't lay a lot of money out, right? And they still have more than 100 billion cash US in their account, right? So that's what it is. You cannot figure out what is the optimum. If you use 10, then you will use more. If you use 100, then maybe you will use 200, then who knows, right? So quite obvious, right? China is being moved aside by all the fund managers in the US, right? Move aside, then forget about China, then we focus on India. And then they think that next year, then India will have a GDP growth about 6.4%, and then it will hit 7% in 2026. And China will gradually become smaller than maybe 4.6 and then 4.4 something. And no matter what the digits are, then the winner takes all, right? That's what it is. America just want another big country that is big enough for manufacturing of cheap products, maybe for 10 of years after for high-end products. That's it. And then to be a very, very big consumer market. That's it. So if India is the one, then China is what we said is winner takes all. All right. And now the second one, ongoing, is in Vietnam and then India, right? India also have 100 million people, right? Population, so not small. And for high tech, there is Taiwan, we all know that, right? And then Japan, and then in US, and then in Europe, right? So China's role will fade out, right? I don't know what will be the position, but 100% is fade out, right? Because the whole world will not need two China, right? Just one India is okay with similar population, right? So this is the story. Then you can stop and then take a look on the digits, right? And very strange, there is a federal judge on Montana in US, then they blocked the law. Then that would result in a ban of TikTok in next year. That means January the 1st, 2024. I don't know why, right? But it won't change anything. It just delays something, right? It just delays something, but it won't change anything, right? A lot of making money tools in US from China will be phased out sooner or later, right? And Brazil also to join the OPEC to reduce the production of the oil. We know that because US dump out the oil and then makes the oil price always at just 75 something, right? US dollar per barrel. And if at this low level, then Brazil, no money, right? No money. OPEC, no money, right? Russia, no money, because they earn it from a high oil price. And then I think Russia may be still okay, right? Because their production capital is very low, but for Brazil may not, right? Because we know that then their currency is rising a lot because of the inflation, right? So she has to join it, but it won't change anything, right? It won't change anything. Then the oil price will always influenced by US then to a very optimum level of 75. That is what US wants, right? And just say it, right? Dow jumps 500 points, right, to a new high this year. But if you examine the main stock in Dow Jones, then I don't find that any stock then they jump much. Just very evenly distributed in all of them. Then Honeywell, like Caterpillar, right? Now just say McDonald's, something like that, right? Everyone contribute a little bit to that. It probably because of the 10 years Treasury yield decreased. Probably because of that, but just a little, right? Okay, we start on SALESFORCE, right? Then we can see the all-time stock price chart of SALESFORCE, right? It been dropped quite low in 2022, right? And then you can see that it dropped from more than 300 to 100. That means dropped at about 60% something, and then it rised up, and then yesterday bounced up because of the profit have a good increment. But don't forget that the PE ratio now is still 95. I just put the red circle for you. I also put the 5-year stock chart and the 1-year stock chart, right? Then clearly we can see that if we narrow to 5 year, you can see that it got a very strong rebound, right? At the end of 2022, right? And then if we take a look on this year, it bounced up by 71%. What does it mean? It means that it dropped too low. Very obvious, right? It dropped too low. So in this year, 2023, it just all the way is go up, and then suddenly the performance is quite good, and then it shoot up. So we talk about on SALESFORCE. But if we look at the revenue growth of SALESFORCE, then I'm a little bit sorry because the increment is slowed down. The best she can do is maintaining the revenue growth. The best she can do, right? And then now is the season of 2024. Now is the season of 2024, the third quarter. for Salesforce, then forget about it. Then they have a very strange calculation of the year and the quarter. And then the next one coming is the 2024, the fourth, that means the last quarter, right? You can see there is 2 stars. That means the forecast, right? That means the increment of the revenue of Salesforce is decreasing, right? From 2023 first 2 quarters down to 14, and then down to now is 11, and then further maybe down to 10%. We have to put this in mind. So this is the financial update for the fiscal year of 2024, the third quarter for Salesforce. Very good, right? Quite good, right? We take a look on the non-GAAP, right? That means adjusted revenue. If we compare with 1 year before, increased by 10%, and then the EPS increased by 51%. Right? If we take a look on the GAAP, wow, the earnings per share increased by nearly 5 times. Right? It's probably because of 1 year before is too low. Right? And then you can see that for the GAAP EPS compared with the non-GAAP, the difference is quite much, nearly a double. That means a lot of financial derivative is involved in Salesforce, right? And then the difference is that high. Forget about the non-GAAP of the free cash flow. Forget about it, right? It's just like you put the money into your pocket, and then I explain to you how I calculate the money in your pocket. There's no use, right? Just use the GAAP. That means now how much money in your pocket, right? So free cash flow is not available. That's it, right? No need to count about the non-GAAP. No use. Just for you to teach the lesson in your classroom, right? Not for practical. So for the full years, this is for the guidance, right? For the full years, the revenue is 44 to 44.75, something like that, billion US dollar. And then the year-over-year growth is 11%, and with the non-GAAP earning is 8.18 to 8.19. I think that is good enough, right? I think that's good enough. Yeah. So that is the breakdown for the different income of Salesforce. And sales, right, and the service, then you need to buy the service, right? And then you can go up to their platform, right, to communicate with them, right? And then the marketing and commerce, right, and then the data. Then if you go from the left side to the right side for the past 2 years, right, a complete 2 years, right, you can see very clearly the increment is decreasing, right? No matter it's the sales, service, platform, market and commerce, all the different kind of income decreasing except for the data. The data is increasing, right? Except for the data. So we have to aware of that, right? A lot of growth from Salesforce is decreasing. Most probably, why the stock price goes up so sharply is because it dropped too low, right? You can see that all the growth is decreasing, not only for the sales, service, platform, marketing, and commerce, all decreasing. The growth is slowing down, right? Except for the data, right? Maybe provide the data or data center, I don't know, right? But for the data, it's increasing. So make up the total subscription and support revenue. All along is decreasing. So if data is not increased by 22%, then it will further drop, not 12, maybe 10 or 9, right? And this is one red cost. You can see that for different revenue generated by different country, right? America, that means the country of Salesforce in, right? Europe, Asia, all is decreasing. You can see that, right? All from left to right. That means for the past 2 years, every quarter decreased. Total revenue decreased from 26 2 years before, increment to just 10% in this quarter, right? Take a look on that, right? And then for the expense, then she got some improvement, right? From 1 year before, occupied for the total revenue, 77%, then down to 69%. Maybe some of the net profit come up because they cut the expense, right? This is a good job. And then there is the free cash flow, right? Free cash flow, right? Then you can see that for the free cash flow is, wow, increased more than 10 times, but take a look on 1 year before, it's a negative, right? So it's no point for compare, no use, right? And repurchase of 1.9 billion of shares, then it doesn't matter, right? That depends on the company. If they have more cash and then no other critical use, then they can do the repurchase buyback, right? It doesn't matter. And then we take a look on the asset, right? The current asset is 20.2 billion US dollar, right? And then the current liability is 19, then consider is break even, right? Just two long-term liability, right? One is the non-current debts, and one is the other non-current liability. So total makeup is about 11 billion US dollar. Then I calculated for the yearly payback for the interest plus the capital. Assume it is for 10 years, it's 1.5 billion US dollar. And the net profit per year is 3.6, right? Remember I said before, just not over half is okay. Just not over half is okay. So for the finance, for SALESFORCE, still okay, right? And for the net cash provided by the operating activity, 15.3 billion US dollar, compared with 1 year before, very low, 3.13, right? So actually no point to compare, right? So after that, then if you buy now, buy the stock of SALESFORCE at 95.61 PE ratio, then I think it's a little bit reckless, right? Because the increment of SALESFORCE, not only for the net profit, for the net revenue, is very limited, right? Unless she open another market like India, Vietnam, maybe other countries not doing now currently with SALESFORCE, or Japan or Taiwan, then that is another story, right? If no, then if you buy at this price like more than 250, I think it's a little bit reckless, right? You buy too high, right? You buy too high, right? Definitely, because then it dropped too low, right? That's what it is. So, not a bad stock, right? Not a bad stock, right? But how to say? It has to find some way to make the revenue boost up, right? Has to, right? But all we know that there's a lot of competitors like Adobe like Microsoft, or all the others. A lot of similar analysis companies now competing with SALESFORCE, right? So that's my analysis. Then maybe if she exploring another big market like India, or Indonesia, then maybe a total different story, right? Because the market is booming at those countries, and then there are a lot of people, a lot of enterprises there, right? So watch your step, right? Now it's already very high for SALESFORCE already, right? Okay, thanks guys for watching, and then your like, comment, and share is appreciated. So please help to subscribe and then press the bell icon, right? Okay, thanks for watching, and then I hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you guys next Friday. Bye bye.